2023 was a slow year for budget earbuds, but not anymore because we've got some competition heating up. And man, I'm gonna show you some real great earbuds you can buy for 20 bucks or even less. And I know that's a great price for just anyone. So let's get started. Selamat pagi! Good morning everyone, Kenneth here and welcome to my best under 20 earbuds video. Finally, I got around to making one. I'm quite late to the party here, but that also means I had plenty of time to test these out. As always, I'm giving you the most important and practical things you need to know, and of course, 100% honest in all of my videos. So hopefully I can help you decide which one suits you best. If you appreciate that, hit the like and subscribe. Today we've got 3 new earbuds to cover and I'll compare them with my past favorites so you have an idea of how they're better, how they compare. And let's get started with the first one, which is probably the most interesting out of the bunch. This is the Soundpeats Clear. So, transparent earbuds has been a thing for a while now, but they were always expensive. Companies like Nothing and Beats all cost more than $100, and at first I really thought, this is gonna be one of those things where they sell just the design. I mean, the Soundpeats Clear is 20 bucks. That's very entry-level pricing, and I'm sorry, clearly, me and a lot of you love the design, at least from the Instagram poll I made the other day. You can follow me there and join the next poll that I'm gonna post. But getting back to the earbuds, they could have just stopped there, right? How wrong I was. This thing sounds great out of the box. Lately, the company has always delivered on the sound quality department, and my EQ here just adjusted some frequencies that I want more or less of. And I know it looks a bit weird, so you can try it out and go from there. And I also put on another recommendation from a fellow audio engineer and reviewer whom I really respect, so go check it out. It's a great balanced tuning. But if you don't want to bother with all these EQ and settings, you can definitely use the default EQ and be perfectly happy with it. One thing is clear though. Soundpeats app has never been the best when it comes to user interface. But when it comes to actually tweaking the sound, I just realized no other earbuds, especially this low price point, can be fine-tuned as much as the Soundpeats Clear. And that's where the real value lies. I mean, you get a freaking 10-band EQ, which gives you way more control of the sound, where most others just give you 3-band bass mid treble or a few more but doesn't let you fully customize from sub bass N to treble N. Soundcore earbuds. And most importantly, you start off from the default EQ, which is, the already great sound, and you tweak it from there, which is great because it's really frustrating to tweak the EQ when the DSP is literally reset to nothing. Feel earbuds. I know I'm throwing a lot of spices everywhere here because I've dealt with so many brands, so many EQs, and sure, Soundpeats is probably the bottom most in terms of beauty in the app, but it actually is at the top when it comes to getting the exact sound that I want. And that is the case with the Engine 4, which is still one of the best sounding earbuds for 50 bucks. It's just a shame that I can't save a few preset EQs. For example, one for bass, one for vocal, one for balance. It'll be a 10 by 10 in terms of functionality. Please, Soundpeats, love to see that. Anyway, I don't want to miss a thing. Sounds glorious on this thing. Compared to my previous champion, the Soundpeats Free 2 Classic, which cannot be EQ'd by the way, I liked how the Clear is much more straightforward when it comes to the presentation. And what I mean is, the Free 2 Classic has always had this problem of sounding compressed in different parts of the song. Like in a moment, the vocal sounds in front, but then in another part, it's not so much anymore. Most likely because the DSP has to accommodate the bass, which is quite strong here. But the Clear, on the other hand, well, at least on my EQ, doesn't give as much bass oomph, but it's also free of this compression problem. The vocals always very solidly placed in front of the mix, backed up by instruments around it, so I can hear the violin clearly on the right side, guitar on the left side, all while keeping the sound staging and detail like the Free 2 Classic, which is still impressive for a mere 20 bucks. And that's on top of this super cool design that is also available in other colors, such as this black one right here, and I don't have it, but they also have beige color, blue color. It's just so cool. This is not a cherry on top. This is a full course dinner 2 of them for the price of a bag of chips. I don't know what I'm saying, but this is one heck of a deal. You should know that. Probably the only downside I could think of is the volume that is about 2 clicks less loud than the Free 2 Classic or the Soundcore earbuds, like we'll talk after. But it's not that big of a deal because for most people, 70-80% will be enough volume for even outdoor use. Now, if you're wondering, I still prefer the sound of Moondrop Space Travel here. It's a bit more refined and spacious in the tuning, and you're getting basic ANC and transparency for just a couple more bucks. But if you don't need any of those, you want to give this to someone and have them happy with it, then the Clear is a very solid pick. Anyway, if you're getting any of these earbuds, please get them through the link below. It really helps me out support the channel, so thank you so much. Let's move on to the second half of the video, and I dedicate this part to you bass lovers out there. I love bass, and if most of your library is filled with EDM songs, actually forget the balanced Soundpeats and Moondrop here and take a look at this new-ish duo from Soundcore, the A20i and R50i. First of all, Soundcore has really nailed it when it comes to build quality. We're talking about 13 bucks at this point, at least from Indonesia, which is where I got them from. And remember the under 15 bucks video I made a few years ago? Easily, these destroys the earbuds from Lenovo, Nakamichi, whatever no-name brand that you could find. For this price, those were made with some flimsy plastic earbuds, case lid that closes on you all the time, some weird design with obnoxious logo and disco lighting effect. None of that is here. It's just a very solid, very beautiful set of earbuds. The R50i even has this rubber like protection thing on the lid, which is amazing. The only thing here is there's no pairing button, unlike the Soundpeats Clear, which has it on the bottom. But at this price, I forgive anything. Seriously. And then it doesn't stop there. Soundcore app support is always top-notch when it comes to user interface and controls customization. And these are no exception. There's one tap, two tap, and hold gestures to be customized. And you can also customize controls not only when you use a pair, but also each earbud when used individually. I love this part of Soundcore, and I'm really glad to see it at this price point. But here comes the most important part, which is the sound quality. By default, as anyone would expect from the company, it's got plenty of bass that fortunately doesn't muddy out the vocals and instrument details. I would say it's a very fun sound that pleases a lot of people. Songs like Attention by Charlie Puth, very fun to listen to. You can actually tweak the sound a bit further with the EQ presets in the app, with some of my favorites being Bass Reducer to reduce that mid-bass bloat, or Treble Enhancer to boost the vocals and instruments, and default EQ sounds actually very good too. Although I would suggest staying away from the bass up toggle because it's getting into the muddy territory. It's just too much mid bass with no meaningful improvement to the sub bass reach. Aside from the obvious design difference between the A20i, which is a stemless design, and the R50i, the more traditional stem style design, actually the sound is also a little different. Most likely because they fit in your ear a bit differently. The stemless A20i has a curvature that goes into the ear canal. The seal itself is made by the ear tips, whereas the stemmed R50i has a bean shape that sits on your ear, forming the seal. I'm talking about the passive noise isolation together with the ear tips. In real life usage, the stemless A20i gives more treble response, so with the same treble booster EQ, it brings the vocals much more forward than the R50i, but getting the same amount of bass is a bit tricky here because the ear tip seal could get loose easily by grinning, raising eyebrows, or opening your mouth wide, none of which affected the R50i or Soundpeats Clear and Moondrop Space Travel for that record because they all use the same design. So with these differences in mind, I hope you can have a clearer view of which one to pick. I know some people prefer a stemless design for its sleeker look and smaller size overall, but for me personally, the stem style fits much better. And that's the most important thing in the world for me. I don't want them to fall off all the time. And I don't mind a slightly bigger case. And of course, you have the advantage of getting the mic closer, just ever so slightly to your mouth, which could bring better call quality, and we'll test that very shortly. And for comparison, one earbud actually sticks out here, and that is the super popular Baseus WM02, or by extension the WM01 with a solid lid. I've reviewed this a while back and found it to be worth your attention, especially if you want a teeny tiny earbuds, but if you ask me, I would still pick the Soundcore A20i or R50i instead. Not only the build quality is better, you can also add volume controls which the Baseus can't do, and even though you can EQ the Baseus yourself where Soundcore just give you EQ presets, the driver is just better on the Soundcore. It beats it in all metrics. Sub-bass sounds more effortless and powerful, the mids have similar detail, and the treble can give better clarity and airiness than the Baseus. Again, because this is really important, I recommend trying bass reducer or treble booster. They're a surefire way and very easy fix that should cover most of your needs. But keep in mind that in all of these EQ presets, the Soundcore is still a bassy earbuds through and through, and they're really great at that. But if you want a more balanced sound, your choices are gonna be either Soundpeats Clear or Moondrop Space Travel, and all links are down in the description below. With that said, let's check out the latency test right now. I'll go straight to the gaming mode results. Just keep in mind that 300 milliseconds is the typical Bluetooth latency in real-time games. In videos, they are compensated, so most of them basically have no real latency. And touching connectivity a little bit, I have no issues with any of these earbuds, which is great. So yeah, let's check out the test and we'll wrap up with the mic test right after. Okay, welcome everyone to the microphone test, and here we are with the Soundpeats Clear. What do you think of the sound quality? This is what you should expect when you do online meetings at home and stuff like that with little to no noise around you. But now let's check out the Soundcore and see how they perform. Okay, so now here we are with the Soundcore A20i, and what do you think of the sound quality? How does it differ to the Soundpeats Clear that has a stem design? I think it holds up pretty well, should be inside with no noise like this, but outside we will see how it performs. Okay, let's test out the next one right now. All right, now it's time for the R50i, and what do you think of the sound quality? To be honest, I listened to the recording of A20i and Clear. I think Clear sounds the best so far because it sounds the most natural. The A20i sounds a little bit more compressed. How does this compare? And now let's go outside and we'll see how it performs. All right, welcome outside everyone. We are with the Soundpeats Clear, and this is road noise, the outdoor test. Good to notice that the left earbud has a little bit more hissing when the mic is active. Otherwise, when listening to music, you cannot notice it at all. But that's, not too uncommon in budget a little bit. But anyway, let's move on to the sound course and we'll see how they perform. All right, it started raining again. And here we are with the Soundcore A20i. What do you think of the sound quality? Well, in theory, this should have the poorest performance compared to the other earbuds because the mic is simply the farthest away from my mouth. I mean, it's $17, right? Like I said, I forgive anything. So what do you think of the sound quality? And let's move on to the next. Okay, last but not least, here we are with the Soundcore R50i. Then the fifth backup head to head with the Soundpeats Clear and better than the A20i. You be the judge and let me know in the comments. So, anyway, now let's change to the microphone inside the phone, and yeah, after that we're up to video. And here we are with the phone microphone. What do you think of the sound quality? And this is what it currently sounds like. It's not too crowded, but again, like earbuds as cheap as these usually don't perform that well when it's too crowded. So it's a perfect test basically to have an idea of how it will perform in a mildly noisy environment. With that said, I hope this video helped you out in picking out which earbuds suits you best. These are great picks that we have here. Yeah, here are 2 more videos for you to watch, and thank you so much for watching. I'm Kenneth. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.